Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It is about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. How are we doing this lovely week, ladies and gentlemen, sloppers? Good God Almighty, it's been a decent week on my end, man. I just been scrolling on to X.com, the Everything app, and I learned that Tyler the Creator got canceled. Tyler the Creator, who we all know has never had any controversial sort of music that he's ever created or things that he's said on X.com, the Everything app, formerly known as Twitter. No. He's been our bisexual king for forever, right? He's been our leftist alt superhero since the beginning of time. No, it's like insane to me. First of all, I'm fully aware that this controversy, like this might even be news to you because you're not on Twitter like I am, which makes it makes me do some self-reflection. Every time I see some shit like this, I says to myself, self, why the fuck are you on this website? This would not have been on my radar at all had I not been, scrolling Twitter. And it's a complete non-issue, a complete non-controversy. It's just that, like, similar to like the Me Too era when people were getting canceled left and right it was usually comedians. Comedians back in the 2022 were getting canceled every day for shit that they said 10 years ago. That's exactly what's happening here. He's done nothing in the past decade that warrants any sort of scrutiny or, cancellation, right? But he did say some crazy shit, and his first couple of albums, which they're on Spotify, bruh. You can go back and listen to Goblin. It's just so it's interesting to me when controversial figures like this, or like ex-controversial figures, I should say, where Tyler used to be controversial, and then he grew out of it. He grew up, and now he makes like he's had like 2 or 3 serious career reinventions, which is cool. It makes him an interesting sort of layered artist and interesting layered growing human being. But people, I hesitate, like NPCs on Twitter, the radical NPCs on Twitter are like incapable of seeing growth in a person. I don't know, this whole talking point just strikes me as like, is this 2020, bruh? Is this 2018? Like, are we still doing this? We're still canceling people? Is that a thing? Tyler, this is the first quote unquote cancellation that I've heard of in like 2 years. And no one's gotten canceled in the past 2 years. Who gives a fuck about anything anymore? Like, it's so silly to look back at someone's stuff and go, oh, whoopsie. But again, the only reason I know about this whole thing is that I'm on Twitter, and the only people that care about it are people on Twitter. I barely care about it. I mostly care about it, like I said, because it's new at this point. Like if this were a couple years ago, I would not have even touched this. But the fact that someone is getting canceled, quote unquote, in big 2025 in the year of our Lord 2025 is interesting to me. So, who are these homunculuses? These non-human people? These like waifs? They might, like, if they're one step above a bot, they're like Ryan Gosling from Blade Runner 2049, but not hot or interesting. They're NPCs, straight up NPCs, but they're like antagonistic NPCs. They exist to fuck with people, and they derive pleasure from causing pain. Maybe not causing pain, but causing strife online, fuckery. What crazy wild existence. To be that person. So go fuck yourself to every person who's ever tweeted anything like that. You're helping no one. It is a completely selfish endeavor. You are completely virtue signaling, and there's not like even. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I think specifically with just things that people have said, because people get canceled for good reasons all the time. Like Harvey Weinstein got canceled and now he's in prison, right? Like that's a different type of thing. I'm talking about like someone digging up tweets from 2013. Every single person that's ever done that is a piece of shit. He's more of a piece of shit than the person that they're trying to smear. Again, though, I just feel like I'm parroting talking points from the Biden administration. Don't you? Doesn't this feel like a relic of the past? This controversy? Huh. Interesting. So I don't know. Shouts out to Tyler the Creator. I think I'm a fan. I enjoy his music. I think if he's even aware of this, there's no possible way he gives a fuck. And similar to Joji, remember Joji? Joji has had the same thing happen to him. Less often, I think, than Tyler, but is very susceptible to people like discovering the Filthy Frank era and realizing that that's how their beloved artist got started, and then falling victim again and again to just the new person that finds his music. Some new person finds his music. Hey, who's this guy? Goes on to twitter.com, reads one thing, or sees like the pink guy outfit in a reply, and he's like, what the fuck is that? And then he does a little research or searches one thing, finds out about Filthy Frank, and then suddenly they're disgusted. And I guess I have empathy for those people because they don't know any better. They're discovering like that your soulful sad boy emo indie guy used to be like a racist. It could probably hurt your feelings. I'm not above that. I get it. I am above that. I don't give a fuck. But I do. I see where they're coming from. Is what I'm trying to say. I see where they're coming from a bit on that. What the fuck happened to Joji? What happened to that guy? Where has he been? Did he move back to Australia to go hang out with the cold ones guys? It's crazy. He's never done cold ones, despite fucking iDubbbz did cold ones, and it was a super, super cringe, embarrassing episode. That was bad. iDubbbz is struggling on the struggle bus. He's like a lol cow now. Everything he says gets clipped and memed on. Poor bastard. Well, that's what you do. That's what happens when you come for the king, buddy. Okay? Yeah. You come for Ethan Klein in 2025. He's got shooters, brother. He does have shooters, but no. Ethan has never had a worse reputation than he has right now. Anyway, shouts out to Tyler the Creator and getting canceled. And it's honestly perhaps a privilege. It keeps your name in the news cycle, and especially like this one where no one gives a fuck. It's only the people. It's actually just. It's like everyone's doing a Slop podcast where everyone is sort of just reporting on the fact that other people are talking about Tyler the Creator, and there's not anyone actually mad. People are more just like, oh, I guess Tyler's getting canceled. Well, all right. Which is where I'm at with it. But that does seem to be the overwhelming consensus is like, oh well, okay. And that's the amount of that's about the level of energy that I can muster for this slopic, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of which, if you cannot muster any energy for one of the slopics that I'm discussing, skip it, brother. There's always time codes in every platform. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. There's going to be time codes in that description, baby. So skip right past this fucking non-controversy. In other news, the Force Awakens trailer, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, released their first trailer 10 years ago today. Or not today, but like when you're listening to this, probably 3 or 4 days ago. 10 years ago was that first trailer got released. One of the best trailers of all time, I think. If you can remember where we were at, where everyone was at before the Star Wars sequels, before anyone knew that, before anyone knew any of it. And it was just excitement and wonder and vibes, and holy shit, Star Wars is back. Not only is Star Wars back, but it's like the sequel to like the original trilogy. So you have like the actors from the OG are coming back and reprising their roles. Holy fucking shit. I mean, beautifully edited, beautifully put together trailer. that is just like really, really captures exactly what I just said, just the wonder and the excitement of the thing. Like I said, one of the best trailers ever. I'm curious actually who chopped that trailer up, which trailer house did that, and if they have done anything else of note. But trailers are interesting to me that way, especially with giant, like this is, it's in the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time. Force Awakens. I mean, the insane hype for this movie. Like, I wonder who Disney entrusts with that duty to like, here's all the footage. It's probably not even done editing by the time they get it to the trailer house, but here's all of our footage. Here's the things that we want you to hit. Here's the things that you can't hit. And then like make something. Just here you go. I'm sure it's a fucking committee. I'm sure it's boardroom full of dozens of people who are tearing their hair out, and then it goes through 50 iterations, like version 1, version 2, version 86. And, you have to appease every producer, everyone in that boardroom. And then you have to have a marketing guy come in and tell the producers that they're being fucking idiots and that they're not putting that in the trailer. No, we're not putting the final fight, in our first trailer here. Okay, we'll put 1 second of the final fight. 1 second that we're going to cut away, and then like we can't give it away. But it's fun. It'll put butts in seats. Like, fuck you, you idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. That's a crazy, crazy thing to do. Crazy thing to entrust upon a company. So yeah, that's a thing, right? My all-time favorite, my favorite trailer of all time is the first Midsummer trailer.
Christian says that you've got some special thing planned.
Yeah, it's like a crazy 9-day festival. It only happens every 90 years.
Hi.
Incredible trailer. It's one of those things where I remember where I was when I watched it. I was such a fan of Hereditary. And that trailer drops, and it's just so enticing, so exciting, so mysterious. Doom, 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 beam, beam. Like the music, the vibes, that everything's in freaking bright colors. And what I always remember is instead of coming soon in 2017 or whenever it was, instead of a black screen at the end, it's a white screen at the end. Great stuff. And again, just vibes and creepy and fun. And from Ari Aster, the director of Hereditary, and I said, you motherfucker, sign me the goddamn fuck up. Pardon my language. That's an aggressive amount of cursing for no reason. So yeah, man, I mean, let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we, for The Force Awakens. A walk down memory lane. Because I think it's worth noting, because the ride that this franchise has gone on since Disney acquired it is pretty astonishing. The Force Awakens is the first movie that Disney released. The first Star Wars movie that Disney released. Again, just the last Star Wars anything that we got was Revenge of the Sith. And I don't have the years in front of me. I'm guessing Revenge of the Sith was like 2024, 2005. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not 2024, 2004. 2005, and then Force Awakens was, I'm guessing, 2016. Well, we know it's 10 years ago, so it's 2015. 2015. So it had been, holy shit, almost exactly 10 years. Whoa. It seems like we're due for another one, don't you think? Oh yeah, we're getting one. It's called fucking The Mandalorian and Grogu. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. Force Awakens was almost exactly 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Fascinating. And here we are talking about it 10 years after the Force Awakens trailer, which is probably a year before the movie came out. Wow, synchronicity. This literally means nothing. All it does mean is that we are due for, like, if we're this franchise and not in horrific condition, we would be getting a new trilogy starting right about now. Right? And that was, I'm sure, the plan. And then just everything went to shit. But before it did, there was a little movie called The Force Awakens, and it wasn't a little movie at all. It was a huge movie. It was a gigantic $300 million movie, and they cast 3 no-name actors in their big 3 roles, and they paid Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher each $30 million to come back. It's probably high. I don't know. Some absurd amount of money, plus a lot of, producer credits, presumably, so they get the return on the back end because they know that movie's about to do gangbusters. And then you have your trailer, right? And all you do, I want to say Leia and Han. Of course, Han's in the trailer. It's true. All of it. I mean, just incredible. So good. But yeah, like there's notably no Luke in the trailer, and also notably no Luke in the movie until the very, very last second, where Rey hands her lightsaber over to Luke after she found him finally, and then the movie ends. Cards on the table. I love this movie. Not only do I love it, I think it is the 3rd best Star Wars movie, period. And to be honest, I have not seen original or Empire in quite some time, in many, many years. So I rewatch this one pretty regularly because it's so much fun. It's an absolute blast. And everyone complains about it being a remake of A New Hope. And I guess they're right. Like, the plot points are identical, but it's a fucking blast, dude. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think this is my 2nd favorite Star Wars movie. A New Hope can suck my dick. I think this is an improvement on A New Hope. God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I'm probably out of line, but fuck it. You know what? Yeah, you gotta offer controversial takes on the web, the internet, to get fucking clips, clicks. Fucking Peppa Pig, or who's the pig guy that does that? Anyway, yeah. So I guess this is my 2nd favorite Star Wars movie, and after Empire, and I haven't seen that movie in a long time either. So I guess this is my favorite. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting it above one of the most classic, beloved movies of all time, Empire Strikes Back, but I am putting it above A New Hope. And I could be totally off on that. I might need to see the first OG Star Wars again. As a matter of fact, I definitely do. It's been too long. I should just do that whole trilogy again, man. Myself, like many my age, are the Star Wars movies that we grew up with were the prequels. But I, despite my nostalgia for those 3 films, 2 mostly, we didn't really get really down with Revenge of the Sith, but those first 2 are nostalgic for me. I don't like them though. I seen those shits as an adult, and they're bad. They're bad. So, but when Force Awakens came out, I was stoked to see something competently created by a competent director, J.J. Abrams, and written by the guy who wrote the original trilogy. So, where could you go wrong? And they basically didn't go wrong, in my opinion. I think there's not a whole lot wrong. There's not many things in this movie I don't like. I don't know what to tell you. It's stupid that there's another Death Star. I hate that, but it is what it is. Like, it still works. The characters are a blast. They have great chemistry. They're very well acted. It's energetic. It's fun. It's fucking really well edited. The villain is fascinating. I love that he's a bitch and a pussy. It's interesting that he's a big old pussy. That's new for Star Wars. Yeah, I like the whole thing. I like that you got Max von Sydow at the beginning, who's telling off Kylo, and then I like that Poe Dameron tells him off. Who talks first? You talk first. That's great. The Rey torture scene where she learns that she's got the Force is sick. I'm just a fan, man. I enjoy all of it. They have the girls get it done scene, which I don't love, where Rey's in the Millennium Falcon and Han is like, she like pulls out a thing and it fixes the problem, and Han is like, how'd you do that? And she's like, I bypassed the compressor. And he goes, women. That's a little cheesy. That's not nearly as bad as Disney's Avengers Endgame, where they have the girls get it done scene, the worst scene in the entire MCU. where every single female character on the battlefield in Avengers Endgame finds themselves in the same wide shot, and they all heroically attack a person. That is the worst thing ever. That's actually the only... We were talking about Avengers Infinity War and Endgame last week, and I forgot to mention that it's like that's the only blight on that movie for me. Whereas Infinity War I love desperately. I love that movie very much, but they have... Sorry. I gotta tell you this. The girls get it done scene from Endgame is also so egregious and ridiculous and frankly disturbing because they had that scene in Infinity War. They did it already. They literally did the oh shit, there's like a bunch of female characters, female superheroes in a shot, and they all work together for a second to beat one of the mini boss bad guys. They do it in Infinity War, and it's like 15-second scene with 4 female characters that could conceivably be on the battlefield in the same area, right? It doesn't really make, it doesn't not make sense. It's like your brain believes it when it happens. And then they do the same thing again in Endgame, but with 40 female characters. And then your brain goes, oh, this is pandering. I'm being pandered to. Instead of like, oh, that was a cool moment, you go, oh, this movie thinks I'm a fucking idiot. Like, that sucks. But anyway, back to Star Wars. There is that one little pandery moment, but it's not that bad, bruh. It ain't that bad. Let's be for real. I've seen much, much worse. The movie in general is just a really good time. It's an absolute blast. Okay, so let's say you're Disney, right? You're Bob Disney. And you buy Star Wars for $4 billion. You say, okay, let's make a new trilogy of films. Great. Awesome. Let's get J.J. Abrams to direct. Great. Awesome. So far, so good. What's going to happen in these 3 movies? I don't know. Fuck it. What's that? Yeah, fuck it. Just That's the vibe. Do you think we should write something or put pen to paper at all? Nah, fuck it. Okay. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, crazy move to not plan the trilogy out. It's just frankly astonishing to me that they didn't do that. Not only that, they had Marvel right there to compare notes with. The Infinity Saga with a couple of bumps on the road, generally speaking, is very cohesive and complete, and it ends extremely satisfyingly, and it's much, much longer than 3 movies. It's 15. And they just decided not to have an end goal. They decided not to plan anything. They decided to wing it with the biggest, most beloved franchise on the planet. And you want a little spoiler warning? It did not go well. Oh dear. It didn't go well. So then we move on to J.J. Abrams releases The Force Awakens. It's a massive, massive hit. It's still, I believe, I think I'm almost certain of this, it is the highest grossing domestic film of all time, meaning just American audiences, American money, dollars. Americans showed the fuck out for this movie. The Chinese did not, because there's a black man as a main character. The Chinese decided to sit this one out. So anyway, the J.J. Abrams and whatever comes out, very big success, and then they got to do a sequel. And how could you possibly fuck up this? You just do the same thing that you just did. Maybe you hire the same creative team. In hindsight, we know now that J.J. Abrams had no idea where any of this was going either. He's good at creating The term was thrown away, mystery boxes, which I think is a very derogatory term for J.J. Abrams, where he's the lost guy, and lost is the property that is the most guilty of this phenomenon, which is creating questions and then never answering them, because the question is the interesting part, right? The answer is tougher to do and much less interesting. Generally, your brain has a more interesting idea of the thing than than any writer could create. Most of the time, almost always, the answer is more, the question is more interesting. The JJ is exclusively interested in the question and does not give a fuck about the answer in most cases. And that can be frustrating, especially if you are putting a lot, if you're like, I don't know how many seasons there are of Lost, like 6 to 8 years of your life into a television show, you're going to want some fucking answers. Even if they're subpar, you're going to want some answers. You can't just leave everything open, because then it looks like lazy writing. It looks like you are forgetting or intentionally not touching the things that you brought up. And either one of those is bad. Both forgetting and intentionally not touching are both no good. No good. So JJ also didn't have any of these answers in mind when he wrote this script. And he didn't care because he wasn't expected to do any more of these. Maybe he would have, had he been tasked with writing and directing a trilogy of movies. Perhaps maybe that would have been the best course of action, to just give the whole thing to JJ. But I don't think he wanted to do it. I bet you they tried to get him to do it, and he didn't want to, especially after the success of the first one. You have to imagine that after the success of the first one, they were like, bruh, just do them all three. Do all three of them. Maybe he was busy doing some other shit. What else was he doing at the time? I don't know. Those Star Trek movies had just come out. Was he doing that? I don't remember what else he's done since then. If only I had a computer in front of me that I could look things up on, but I unfortunately I had to sell it. I had to sell it to keep this studio light on. All the other lights turn on fine, but this one's very expensive. Anyway, so they give the thing to Rian Johnson. You know the story. They give the fucking second movie to Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson, who, by the way, okay, you have to remove yourself of all you cannot look at this thing with hindsight. You have to put yourself where you were when the Last Jedi trailer dropped. Remember that? That shit was exciting, especially me having loved The Force Awakens. I think most people enjoyed it, but I really loved it, and I was very excited for The Last Jedi. Here is a guy called Rian Johnson who directed Brick, which I don't give a fuck about, but he directed Looper, which I love. I freaking love that movie. Have you guys seen Looper? It's great. There's speaking of my disgusting Twitter habit, a clip just got passed around on Twitter of the Rainmaker kid scene when when he falls down the stairs. Holy fucking shit, dude! I've just got chills thinking about it. The kid slips on the stairs when the bad guy's like holding up a gun. The guy looking for the Rainmaker's holding up a gun. He turns it towards the kid, and the kid slips out of fear, and the guy like puts his hands up like this, like, no, I didn't do anything. And then the mom sees the kid stumbling down the stairs, and then young Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like goes and runs to catch him, and the mom just tackles him out of the door, out of the room. Oh my god, that shit rips. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to catch your son," as he's falling, and then everything in the room, the kid comes to a stop at the bottom of the stairs, gets just like that crazy anger face, and then everything in the room just starts floating, and our bad guy gets disintegrated, just like popped like a balloon. That's good stuff, man. God, what a great movie. So very competent director. I'm not a fan of that Brick movie. People love it. It's in the Criterion Collection, but I didn't get anything out of that. But I do love Looper, And not only did he direct Looper, he directed Mother, like debatably the most beloved episode of prestige television of all time. Probably got to be up there with highest rated. Breaking Bad, Ozymandias. One of the best hours of television that I've ever seen. I mean, come on, dude. That's like that's the pinnacle. That's the best you can do. Is that episode? It's unbelievable. So he did Ozymandias and The Fly. The Fly, a much more controversial pick. The Fly, though, I've seen Breaking Bad probably 4 times all the way through, maybe 5, probably 4. And then I got to, in like the second and third rewatch, I skipped The Fly episode because I thought it was boring and nothing happens. And it's a budgetary bottle episode where they stay in the same room the whole time and nothing of consequence happens whatsoever, which is sort of true, you know. It is sort of true that nothing of consequence happens, but it is a banger of an episode. It's not. I wouldn't put it anywhere close to my favorites. Some people think it's like a masterpiece. It's great. It's probably the best cinema. It's probably the most well shot episode up to that point. Season 4 and 5, they really stretch their wings with the cinematography, and then Better Call Saul just completely knocks everything they did out of the window. Out of the park, knocks everything down a peg. What am I trying to... Like, Better Call Saul is just... They take everything they learned from that show and improve upon it. But there's, The Fly is great. Awesome episode. It's about guilt. It's about shame. And it's about, like a physical manifestation of that guilt. Or, alternatively, like something that you focus and you find a thing... Because you cannot handle what's happening in your life. You do not have the willpower. You don't have the fortitude to actually address the things in your life that are bad or that are causing you pain. So instead you focus on a stupid small thing and you put all your energy into that because that's easy and it's achievable and it's a thing you can do. It's like starting a podcast. And so that's what that episode is about, and it's great. It's awesome. The psychology of the characters is really something. So shouts out to The Fly. I watched it on my 4th rewatch of the show. I decided to watch the episode, and I was like, oh no, it's great. I was wrong. So I've seen the show 4 times, but only seen that episode twice. But anyway, Rian Johnson directed the most controversial episode of Breaking Bad and the most beloved. So you got something there, and say what you will about The Fly, but it's beautiful, it's incredible, and it's incredibly looking, and you can't fault the direction of the thing. So there's your candidate, and not only that, they give him complete freedom to do anything that he wants. One man, one human, not a boardroom, not a committee. A guy. I mean, I'm just like, it's exactly what Red Letter Media said in their video, which, by the way, for all the problems of this trilogy, and there are many, they produced the best half in the bag episodes. I mean, it's either this or the Snyderverse ones, just S tier, God tier half in the bag episodes that I rewatch every 6 months just to make myself happy. The Last Jedi, half in the bag, is truly something. It's really something. But yeah, that's something they say is like they gave the second film in this extremely expensive and popular and franchise to some guy, just one person. It's a great point. It's crazy. You don't do that. I don't know. It's just so weird to me. And here's the other interesting thing: they had a lot of confidence in Rian Johnson and his vision, and they presumably really enjoyed The Last Jedi before it came out, because before it came out, this also might have been in hindsight a marketing tool, but they offered him his own trilogy. They were like, holy shit, The Last Jedi is incredible. Do you want your own trilogy, bud? They were handing out trilogies like hotcakes back then, but they offered Rian Johnson his own trilogy, and because they were so impressed, the Last Jedi just blew their hair back and they loved it. cut to it getting released, and it is the most divisive film of all time. Like it's an actual 50-50 split on people loving it and going to bat for it and saying that it's genius, and then people absolutely despising it and thinking it's like the death of their childhood. I will tell you my opinion of these properties here shortly, but The Last Jedi, in my opinion, it's like a jumbled fucker. It's a jumbled fuckery of ideas, interesting ideas with not a lot of cohesion, and horrible jokes. Terrible comedy that really, really ruins what could otherwise be interesting. And that's like a plague on most or many modern movies, especially Disney movies. I mean, that is the Avengers formula. That's Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I like Guardians 2 much more than The Last Jedi, but Guardians 2 is that. And like, it's a thing. It's the I didn't know Rian Johnson and James Gunn came from the same school of writing, but they do. So let's cut back to the release of 2015 of Force Awakens and the promise of Disney to Rian Johnson for a new movie. Let's say instead of just one, Rian Johnson is handed the next 2 films, right? So let's say it didn't work out with JJ for whatever reason, but they have this Rian Johnson guy who looks promising. He's an established director. He's made great work in the past. He's very well liked on set. People like the guy. I think he'd be easy to work with, and he's a straight shooter, this one. Okay. Let's give him the next 2 movies of our beloved, expensive franchise. I think that would change things dramatically, and I mean hugely. He would have to write a cohesive story. He would have to not just shit. He would not have to like flush down the toilet so many of the ideas that JJ opened up. He took JJ Abrams' mystery boxes and just individually, one by one, shoved them into the toilet with a plunger, shit atop them, and then flushed. It's bad for your pipes. Bad metaphor, stupid joke. Anyway, just get my own tomatoes and have them on my desk and just throw them at my own face when I bomb with a joke. Yeah, that would change things massively. But instead, as it stands, you have one guy, one man who decides that like it's interesting to subvert expectations. So it became like a meme that he's subverting our expectations. Remember that? And the meme holds water. It's like not unwarranted because you can, if you just subvert the trope, because that's an interesting thing to do, and because your audience won't expect it, you got to have like you need a follow-up reason. You can't just have that be the whole reason that you're doing a thing. You need like, okay, well, I'm doing this because it's interesting now when, like, I always bring it back to Game of Thrones, my beloved favorite books of all time. Like George's thing was like, all right, I'm going to kill off our quote-unquote main character, Eddard Stark, at the end of book 1. And then his son's going to take his place, which is like a heroic, noble thing to do. And then I'm going to kill him in book 3. And it's going to be a fucking horrific, like, so I'm subverting the expectation of the reader, because usually when, okay, wow, you killed my main character, that's crazy. Well, at least he's got a son that's going to avenge him, because what happens when I do that too? When I also kill that guy? Then what happens? Like it opens up a whole thing, and you're like, okay, well, who's going to fill his place? What is this? What happens when the bad guys win for a while? Like after that happens, the fucking North is taken over by these like horrific, awful people. What happens with that? Like, you're opening up a lot of interesting possibilities, right? When instead with the Last Jedi, what you're doing is closing possibilities. You're like, Well, the Rey thing I actually like. The Rey's not the Rey thing. You're a nobody. I actually fuck with that a lot. What's another example? Killing Snoke. I'm also okay. I'm okay with that too, conceptually. What else? Fuck. What are these other expectation subverting moments? The whole Luke Skywalker thing. I'm okay with that too. All right. You know what? I talked myself out of this. I think the expectation subversion thing was interesting most of the time. I think there's probably something that I'm forgetting. I don't really remember why Kylo's still the bad guy at the end. Didn't he agree to join forces with Rey, and then he decided to murder her friends anyway or something? Why did that happen? I don't remember. I just watched this movie like 6 months ago too. Huh. Okay. Anyway, I'm right down the middle on The Last Jedi. Here's what The Last Jedi is, in my humble opinion. I already told you, it's a jumbled mess with awful jokes, but it's also freaking beautiful. It is probably, bar for bar, the best looking Star Wars movie. It's beautifully, beautifully, beautifully shot. Incredibly well color graded, if that's a thing to you. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Minus a casino planet. Oh, the fucking casino planet. Oh my god. Just talked myself into a coma with one utterance of that scene. Good Christ. How does that not get cut? How do you not retool that? Okay, so there's your problem with the glaring problems with your script is like you have a 40-minute casino planet chase with it's Finn and Rose Tika. I got my brother a Rose Tika action figure for Christmas one time, which he, for some reason, doesn't display on his mantle. He keeps that fucking thing in the closet. Very rude. Yeah, like you separate your core trilogy, which is dumb, your core trio of characters, which is dumb, and you pair up Finn with a very unlikable love interest, which is also dumb, and then you have Finn do nothing of interest, including like you don't do anything with the fact that he's a stormtrooper, or that he used to be a stormtrooper. I mean, you have him fight. Oh yeah, you even kill Brienne of Tarth. The big ass, that sucked. Why'd you do that? All right, there's a good example of a lid closing. Boop. You just close the lid of any interest of like having a Brienne of Tarth. What the fuck is her name? The big one, the big stormtrooper, the big shiny lady stormtrooper, who was in a bunch of the marketing. That's an interesting thing. She thinks he is a traitorous coward, and he has this new way of life that he's developed, and he thinks that she's like a murdering psychopath. Hey, that's interesting. Set that up in movie 2. Pay it off in movie 3. Oh, you just killed her off? Why'd you do that? Why'd you kill her off? So now she's like a nothing. Now she is introduced and murdered in like an hour, and she has nothing to like. She's just a note. What's the point of that? What was the point of that? That was an interesting idea that you just decided not to do anything with. Weird choice. Another weird choice is like why does Kylo still be a bad guy at the end? I'm desperately trying not to parrot what Red Letter Media says in their videos, but that would have been a fascinating avenue to go down if our main character and the main bad guy team up at the end of the second movie, and then like the credits roll. You're like, holy shit! What the fuck is gonna happen in movie 3? Like they're friends now? They're like rule the galaxy together? That would be fascinating. But they didn't do that. They kept him evil. And also the tone of the whole thing is just really fucking wacky. It's just wacky. It's like, it's Guardians 2, man. Where it's like you have this like deep, somber, emotional moment. And then immediately after it's like just an awful, awful joke. Man, it's brutal. Yeah, that movie is bad. Let's be real. Let's be for real. Let's keep it a buck. The movie's not good. There are strengths that it has, though. There are strengths that it has. Okay? So when people come and tell me that they hate The Last Jedi more so than the movie that followed, I got no room for you in my house. I got no room for you in my brain. I can't stomach this opinion. The Rise of Skywalker, which we'll get to now. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The Rise of Skywalker is my least favorite movie of all time. I've said it before on this podcast, but now we're talking Star Wars here. So I get to tell you that The Rise of Skywalker is, I think, an actual abomination. It is the most horrifically bad, spineless, tasteless, embarrassing cuck movie. It's like a cuck movie. It's bowing to the will of Reddit. Reddit. Disney bowing to the will of fucking Redditors. That's what that movie is. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry you didn't like The Last Jedi. I'm sure. Just getting on their knees and just kissing the fucking cock of the man beard that wrote the post. The Redditor that wrote the post. I'm so sorry. We'll fix it. We'll make it better. We'll make it all better. Disney decided to cave amongst the. To be fair, you know, it was significant fan pressure. God, the decision to bail, leave your homie out to dry. I'm trying to think from a corporate hack perspective. If I'm Disney and The Last Jedi comes out and everyone hates it, it's not everyone that hates it, but it's like a lot of people. It's like 65% of the audience really doesn't like it. And we thought we had a hit on our hands, and people really don't like it. And Mark Hamill's going around in every interview and saying that he hates the direction that Rian Johnson wrote his character in, and he can't be in the same room as him. So what the fuck do we do here? We go back to J.J. Abrams. That's all we can do. We just have to go back and beg and give him $45 million and pray that he'll come back and fix it and make it better. He made the first one. People like that one. He'll do it again. He made a good one beforehand. He'll do the second one. He'll actually make it better. Okay, what do people not like about The Last Jedi? Let's just have all the shit that everyone hated, and we'll just have it not matter. So then we'll invent new shit that people will love. Oh fuck! What do we do? What do we do about a villain? All we have is this pussy ass Kylo Ren, who fails spectacularly at every single opportunity. He's literally never won a fight. We've never seen him win a fight once. He's a giant pussy. What do we do? Well, we can't bring. Well, Darth Vader. Bring back Darth Vader. Oh no, Darth Vader is like, he's dead, and it's like a whole thing that Kylo like touches his dead mask all the time. It doesn't really work that we bring back Vader. Who else do we have? Palpatine. Well, we saw Palpatine get eviscerated. We saw Palpatine explode into molecules. Fuck it. Just write some bullshit. It's Palpatine for sure. It's Palpatine. Make it happen. So fuck everything that happened in the last movie, and we'll bring in Palpatine back. That's the move. That movie. It's so much worse to me than any other bad movie, because, like, you know, you compare it to, let's say, the Room, everyone's favorite classic bad movie, where The Room is a passion project by one insane man who, you know, wrote and directed this very bad, misguided, funny to laugh at movie, right? Every B movie, not every, but many B movies are that way with very few exceptions. It's like one wannabe auteur who creates something bad that's like, but you can see there's heart behind it, and it's just misguided, and it's like, you know, it's fun. It's fun to it's like Schadenfreude, right? You laughing at a thing is interesting and fun. This is so much worse than that to me, because it costs $300 million, you know, and there's so many people in the kitchen cooking this dog shit, And like, it's just so corporate, so committee. They went the hardcore other direction, come to think of it, where Rian Johnson was one guy who wrote and developed debatably the straw that broke the camel's back. It was actually like 8 bales of straw that were just dumped on a camel's back. The camel was doing pretty good before that, to be fair. The camel was doing pretty well before, and then it got like a bulldozer of hay. Is it hay? Straw. It got a bulldozer of straw dumped on its fucking back with The Last Jedi. Yeah, so people will hate Rian Johnson. Star Wars heads will hate Rian Johnson forever for that. But what you gotta do when you're put into a tough situation like that is say, okay, well, let's try to work with the ideas that he's put down. Let's try to make something of value with the things that he's written for us, because we hired the guy and we approved the script and we liked it. It was only the fucking fans that didn't like it, right? We're Disney, and we said, damn, this shit is fucking great. We're going to give this guy a trilogy. Cut to fucking Last Jedi coming out. Horrific critical reception. And then just, it's never like they do that thing with the trilogies where they make a big show press statement of offering every new director a trilogy, and then when the directors fall out of favor in the public eye, they just kind of quietly cancel it. They don't make a thing of like, you're never gonna see a Vice headline, Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy canceled. No, they have like one Zoom meeting with Rian Johnson and say, listen, buddy, we're going a different direction. We've always got you in the back pocket. We really appreciate what you did with us. So instead, what happened was they said, wow, that was a very big risk, giving our entire license and future to one man, to one dude. That was a big risk, and it didn't pay off at all. So let's instead do the opposite thing. Let's get 400 writers and 75 board members and get them all to throw their hat in the ring and their ideas in the paper shredder. And then we'll cook something up that everyone loves. It's going to have everything. It's going to have a 3-minute breakneck paced scene with everything in it. Everything. And I do mean everything. All of the ideas. All of the things. Everything you could possibly imagine that is Star Wars related is in this movie for just a little bit, so that everyone's happy. Everyone loves it. It's not an exhausting, horrific, fucking nightmare of a film. To quote Red Letter Media again, which I do frequently, Mike, like I said, this is relevant. Okay, I'm not just quoting them for no reason here. Like I said, it's either these Star Wars sequels or the Batman, the Snyderverse movies that birthed the best half in the bags. You know, and the one that I always think about in one of my other favorite half in the bags, which is Man of Steel. Man of Steel half in the bag is pretty good, but the Batman v Superman one is perhaps my favorite of all time. But anyway, the Man of Steel one, Mike does this thing where he's like, I'm not even joking. I literally had to close off my senses in the theater. I had to like plug my ears and close my eyes and like create a barrier between the movie and my brain. I literally did that during this film. I had to fucking I couldn't handle it. It's like nauseating. It was so exhausting, intense, overwhelming in a horrible way. Breakneck pace where you feel like whiplash. You're like, oh. Scene. Here's a scene. Here's a scene. Here's a scene. Here's a scene. Here's another one for you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Hope you like that scene. Here's another one. I got 15 more of them in the next 8 minutes. It's like a carnival performer getting knives thrown at him. Oh fuck, 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 and they're like getting closer. They're like they start hitting fucking pay dirt. After a while, start drawing blood. Christ Almighty. What a miserable, the most miserable I've been in a movie theater in my entire life, bar none. Hated it. Despised that movie. I legitimately think it's the biggest piece of shit ever created by a human, or 50 humans, or however many writers and directors. And I mean, J.J. Abrams allegedly directed this, but it was a boardroom. A boardroom directed this movie. So I don't know. I mean, it's still JJ's fault because his name is on the thing, and you let this happen, dude. Like you could have said more words. You could have told them no. You could have said, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going to do that. But you didn't. You just folded over and you let them create that. It's the worst thing ever created by a person. I always like to say that Inside by Bo Burnham is one of my favorite things created by a human. Oh, representation. Oh, Inside I love very, very much. I think it's fantastic and amazing, and I think literally all of the exact opposite emotions apply to this film. The Rise of Skywalker. Even the title is stupid. 100% of it is stupid. Oh my God, Raise a Palpatine. Raise a Palpatine, but then at the end she goes, that old lady asked her what her name is for some reason. Ray what? You're Ray? Ray what? I'm Ray Skywalker. Huh? Huh? Oh, what? What do you mean? How? What do you mean by that? In what? You trying to have like a moment right now? After the fucking diarrhea tsunami that I just witnessed? You trying to have a moment, bruh? Fuck you and fuck your moment and fuck your movie. This movie can suck my dick. So truly, if you think that the Last Jedi is worse than Rise of Skywalker, I can't be friends with you. Okay, we can be friends. I'm sorry, we can be friends. I just don't believe. I don't think that you believe that. I think that you have a memory of The Last Jedi being bad, which it is. Don't get me wrong, it is bad. And this is where every time I have this argument in real life with people, I have to make it very clear that I also don't like The Last Jedi, because it comes off like I'm defending it, and I guess I am defending it, but when you compare it to the movie that came afterwards, it's not even close. It is not even close. Where the fucking Rise of Skywalker is, it's like a completely soulless. It's got the same energy. Oh my God, it's a Disney property. It's got the same energy as the Lion King remake. Utterly soulless, horrific corporate product. Corporate slop. Corporate slop. I don't know. It's hard to call that movie slop. It's more just like, I think I have a higher opinion of slop. I like slop. I made a podcast about it. You know, I hate that. Whatever that is, I hate it. So, yeah. Anyway, we can be friends if you think The Last Jedi is worse. I just completely disagree with you. Completely disagree with you on every level. The Last Jedi has interesting things going on. It's just in the packaging, or the connective tissue is off. The jokes are bad, and it's like there's the really bad scenes, and it's just generally pretty bad. See, now caught me defending this fucking movie I don't like again. It's got interesting things going on. The Luke Skywalker stuff is interesting. Ugh, most of it. Ugh, fucking Christ. He tosses the lightsaber over his fucking... That was bad. All right, there's a lot of bad shit in that movie. But at least, you know, it looks good. Looks good. There's no horses riding on a spaceship. Yeah, anyway. Last Jedi... Here. If you're curious, here's my letterboxd rankings of the following... Of the trilogy. It's a nice downward slope. Force Awakens, I genuinely love. I think it's excellent, and I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it's awesome. The Last Jedi, I don't like at all, but there's some interesting stuff in there. I give it a 2 out of 5. And if you could guess, you can guess what the number score that I gave my least favorite movie of all time is. You'd be correct. It's a 1/2 star. 1 out of 10. Absolute abomination. I would give it a 0 if I could. If the app would allow it, but it doesn't. So, yeah, there's actually very, very few movies on my letterbox that I have given a 1 out of 10. And I used to have a list that is just called movies that I hate. But I deleted it because who gives a fuck? And it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. And but there's not many movies that I have rated that low. You guys curious about what else they are? What else I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 of my 1900 films. Yeah, dude, that's not many, right? That's a very, very low percentage. And people think I'm a hating ass bitch, man. I'm really not. But there's 15 movies that I despise. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll give you a couple of them. Oh man, looking at this list is brutal. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Similar vibes, dude. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Very, very similar vibes to this. And like a soulless. It's like a shameless. Actually, let me just read. Let me just read the review I wrote. Okay, yeah. So it's actually an interesting blast from the past here. The Ghostbusters Afterlife review of mine from 2021. I watched this in 21st of November of 2021, and this is actually interesting. I got my my orthodontal work started this week, the week that I watched this film. So here's the review. I had 8 teeth pulled this week, and the end of this movie gave me similar sensations. The most tired, boring, predictable, tasteless, cynical, embarrassing third act I've seen in years. I stand by that completely. Tired, boring, predictable, tasteless, cynical, and of course embarrassing. Yeah, that movie, I mean, just to bring back the ghost of Harold Ramis. And keep cutting back to the fucking ghost. Keep cutting back to the ghost. So anyway, I think it's just mostly corporate-y kind of bullshit that I hate. The 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. My God. Bad Santa 2. Fuck off. Zoolander 2. The 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare. Hated it. All right, anyway, that's enough of this negativity. But yeah, what a fascinating walk down memory lane this has been for all the Star Wars heads out there. By the way, those are my 3 favorite Star Wars movies: Empire, Force Awakens, New Hope. I think in that order. I think I'm putting Force Awakens second. Go fuck yourself. But you know what's better than all 3 of those? You know what's better than literally everything that I've talked about this entire episode? It's Andor. Yeah. Yep. It's Andor. Andor is it's goated. I don't know what to tell you. It's unfucking believable. It's just the best. It's the best Star Wars by a mile. By a mile. It's so good that I forget that it's Star Wars. and you should watch it. Landon. All right. That was a long time talking about Star Wars. My goodness gracious. All right. We got another fun little thing here. This is some actual news this week. Some interesting, fascinating gaming news. In the news of gaming, Halo is coming to PlayStation. Something like this, that sentence I just uttered, would be just like, it'd be unfathomable 10 years ago. Even 5? When did the Xbox has fumbled the bag so fucking hard with their consoles that they're just giving up their baby to the competitors. It's really something. This is the ultimate this is the ultimate end to their most recent strategy of like, we're no longer a hardware company, we're a software company, which is odd. You never think, you're trying to pivot. I get that you are pivoting, and like this, no one thinks of Xbox as anything else than, an Xbox, because they haven't embraced this massive pivot that you're doing yet. But it's a tough pill to swallow for many of us, because I grew up playing an Xbox and an Xbox 360, and it was a thing that you could like put on a shelf and press a button, it would turn on. And then you have a bunch of games that were Xbox games that you had on your Xbox, and your Xbox was a box that you had, like, it was box shaped and it was physical, and it was like a thing that you'd put up next to your DVD player. Because you had a DVD player next to your Xbox, even though your Xbox could play DVDs, you had both. Your parents like the DVD; they don't know how the fucking controller works. So, like, yeah, it's just a tough pill to swallow. And this is like the one thing where they started this "everything is an Xbox" campaign probably 2 years ago, if I'm guessing, when they realized that, or maybe it was a year ago, when the news broke that they were being outsold this console generation 5-1. 5-1. 5 times as many PlayStation 5s have been sold than the Xbox Series X. 5 times the amount. That is like the biggest L, one of the biggest L's of all time. That's like a HD DVD when Blu-ray started kicking in, and there was like that war for a minute, and then just Blu-ray won and started abolishing the competition. Just absolutely just dunking their balls into fucking, I don't know, their ass. Dunking their balls into their ass. Yeah. Speaking of which, oh my God, I've never shown this. Do I have it right here? I do. Look. Okay, look, guys. This is just for the folks that have made it this far into the podcast. Speaking of HD DVDs, look what I have here. This is so niche. I think it's just funny. I have an HD DVD. Look how dusty it is. An HD DVD set of Heroes Season 1. It was $8 at a movie trading company. I tried to tear off the sticker because I thought it was embarrassing that I spent $8 on this very niche bit. I just think because here's the thing: if you put this on the set, people just think like, oh, he likes Heroes a lot, I guess. But no, it's funny because it's a canceled show on a dead format. Don't you understand? Isn't it interesting? Or something? It's something, right? Like, this is completely unplayable. I have no way to play this ever, nor does anyone. The technology is dead. And it's a canceled show. It's a canceled show on a dead format. Right? There's something there, right? Anyway, let's display this proudly for the rest of the episode. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, baby. All right. So anyway, any hoodles. What the fuck was I talking about? Halo on PlayStation. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's like it's cuck energy, the same way that Rise of Skywalker is cuck energy. There's been a lot of connections this episode, a lot of beautiful synchronicity, where this is like a different kind of cuck, where you're just like totally bowing down to the you're taking yourself out of the race. Like, wouldn't you just try again? The pivot is smart in some ways, but I think there's rumors that they're even done with hardware in general. They're going to focus on handhelds, which are successful, and they did the partnership with ROG, so they have like their own version of a Steam Deck now. So handhelds, which are like, it's like an emerging, or it's already emerged. The Switch is like absurdly popular, so they're trying to get in on that market. And they're also just trying to make everything an Xbox. This is an Xbox. That's an Xbox. Your asshole's an Xbox. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is going to pay off, if this is going to work. I really don't know. It just does. It seems weird to me. It just rubs me the wrong way that you're going to put Halo, like, just do literally everything but Halo. Literally every other thing that you have, no one's really going to give a shit about. But Halo? Halo, that's your thing. That's your Master Chief is your Mario, bruh. You got to give that to Sony too? Your entire brand and identity. Like, I understand it hasn't been relevant in a long time, and this most recent iteration with Infinite was supposed to be like a 10-year game, and it just crashed and burned after 6 months. That's unfortunate. But you don't just roll over and give it to the fucking competition, brother. What are we doing? You try again. You stand up, you fire 343. You get 343 the fuck out of the office. I know you just bought them for a lot of money, and it's a tough loss, a tough pill to swallow. But you go back to Bungie. You go back to Bungie, or probably not Bungie, because they're having their troubles of their own. I heard Destiny's in a bad spot, brother. Bad fucking spot. But you go find someone else who has talent. Go find, I don't know. What else has been good recently? Go hire Team Cherry. Go hire Team Cherry. The Hollow Knight, the two guys who made Hollow Knight and a Silk Song, and give them Halo. See what they'll do. Make it a 2D side scroller platforming adventure. Why not? Why the fuck not? Why would you ever, first of all, why would you ever keep 343 at this point? I mean, they've had like 3 duds in a row. You get them the fuck out. You get new eyeballs on the project. You get them out. And you try again. People will forgive you. People love Halo, bruh. Halo 3 is probably my most played game still to this day ever. Like, my brothers and I played it every day, all the time. All the time we played Halo 3. We played it so much. Halo 2 less so. Like, we dabbled with Halo 2, but we fell in love with Halo 3. I mean, that was just, literal days and days of my life that I wouldn't, I wouldn't want back. I loved those moments. I have great memories with the game. So millennials like myself have a ton of nostalgia for the property, and they will try the new one. They'll try it. And if it's good, they'll keep playing it. Just get rid of sprinting, get rid of all the fucking knickknacks, take it back to basics, and try again, bruh. Try again. And definitely execute the CEO of 343 in Minecraft. No, but get rid of those nerds, bruh. Get rid of those dweebs. Get them out of there, dude. You don't need them. Well, I guess it doesn't matter now, because who gives a fuck about anything, because you're a software company, right? So I guess keep them on. You spend a lot of money on them, right? No reason to get rid of them now, right? Because you spent a lot of money on them. A lot of money. I don't know. I don't know what you do if you're Microsoft. Here's the good news. You don't give a fuck, because you're Microsoft and you're the second biggest company on the planet after Nvidia. And this is your entire Xbox division is a fucking rounding error for you. So that's good. That's good. That none of this actually matters. But then, if none of it matters, then why do it? And if you have all this money because you're Microsoft, then why not just try again until you get it right? Be Amazon Prime Video, where you're Amazon, so you just have trillions of dollars to spend on every project, or more accurately, Apple. You can spend $250 million on a show that no one will ever see because you don't give a fuck because you're Apple. Just do that. You're Microsoft, bruh. What would Bill Gates think of this? I don't know. He'd probably donate Xbox to some fucking charity. Donate Master Chief to some fucking wildlife foundation or some shit. Humanitarian aid. Humanitarian AIDS, more like it. No, whatever. I don't know. He's like, you know, probably the only good billionaire, the only billionaire on the planet who's given up a ton of their money. Bezos' ex-wife did that too. Okay, so it's like 2. Anyway, we're totally off track here. I don't know. What the fuck are you doing, bruh? What the fuck are you doing with my boy on a PlayStation? My boy on a PlayStation 5. Master Chief on a PlayStation 5. It just seems sacrilegious to me. It just seems wrong. And I'm up in arms about it. No, I don't really. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I actually do feel semi-strongly about this. It's just a dumb thing to care about, but I do kind of care. It's just like, oh, this is it's ruining my childhood. Oh. It's like Star Wars The Last Jedi that way. Where me and my childhood were walking around hand in hand in tandem, frolicking through the fucking sand on a beach. And they took it from me. They took it. They drowned my childhood in the fucking sea while all I could just watch. All I could do is watch. I go try to save my childhood and I trip on a fucking grain of sand. Collapse into the mouthful of sand. Oh, they're just drowning it. It's fucking Bill Gates just drowning my fucking childhood. So anyway, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Now PlayStation has everything. They just have everything now. They've got everything that there's literally, there was no reason to buy an Xbox, and now there is literally no reason to buy an Xbox. Like there was like when you would you went to the store and you like you put money down for an Xbox Series X, the guy would be like, "Oh, you sure? Ooh, I mean, I'll sell it to you, but ugh." And now if you do that, he'll like pull your pants down and like laugh at your tiny cock. I don't know. Yeah, like 2 employees will come out of nowhere, pants you, and then they'll shame you for having a small cock. That's what happens 100% of the time. You go to GameStop and you try to buy an Xbox Series X nowadays because there's literally no reason to. You can play Halo on PlayStation. What the fuck are we doing? Whose decision was that? That is crazy. Like I said, literally everything else. Put every other Xbox property on, but not Halo. You can't do Halo because it's over now. Like there's nothing. It's just you flipping over and showing your emaciated gut. You haven't been eating well in several years, so you look like a anorexic. Unfortunately. And I wish those people the best. But, you know, that's what Microsoft has. They're just like a bony, fucking horrific rib cage stomach. And they show their tummy. And it's like bloated. You know that thing where you're like skinny, but like bloated because you haven't eaten. And all right, we're getting too graphic here. We should probably wrap it the fuck up. This is a fun episode. I shouldn't have started with that Tyler cancellation bullshit because I don't give a fuck about that at all. And I ended up talking about Star Wars and Halo for like more than an hour, which was much more interesting and much more fun. And I had a great time. Hey man, this is a good time. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, the God love you, Slop Nation. I don't think I have anything else to tell you. Oh, I do have one thing to tell you. Stop the music. Okay, maybe I won't even put the music in because people just probably shut the fuck off when the music starts. No, listen. Listen, I have one recommendation for you before you go. Go, do yourself a favor and go watch the new Meat Canyon video. It's just called Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon by Meat Canyon. That's all I will say. It's fucking fantastic. It's the production quality is better than most Hollywood. It's really, really remarkable. It's fucking disturbing. It's funny. It's crazy. It's his first foray into live action. He's an animation guy, but this is like really, 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 really great. So go watch that. Okay, go. Goodbye now. Goodbye now, Sloppers. God love you. Good luck, Slop Nation. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.